Minister Sinister podcast. Listen at your own risk.
I'll never forget that dinner. The meal was liver and onions. I was just cutting it up and pushing it around my plate when my father's voice boomed.
You going to eat that, boy? Or are we going to the shed?
My older brother and younger sister had both been to the shed when they hadn't eaten their dinners. To my left, my brother was avoiding my gaze and tucked into his dinner like it was the best chocolate cream pie he'd ever eaten. He never said a word about his shed experience, but it certainly cured his pickiness. Across the table, my sister drooled. She hasn't spoken since. For some reason, I chose to ignore my father. I must have been feeling brave. He gave me a moment before he finally stood up and abruptly announced,
"That's it! Let's go!"
In the back corner of our yard, the shed sat benignly, with its whitewashed face brilliant in the moonlight. Its door was large and padlocked. A moment later, my father was twisting the key and popping the lock. He then grabbed my shoulders and stared into my eyes. His face was an inch away. His breath reeked of onions.
Listen here, son. You get in that shed and you eat. You eat and you don't stop eating until I open this lock. Understand?
I didn't understand. The door swung open and a dank, malodorous air assaulted my nostrils. Inside, some things moved. Before I could react, my father had shoved me in and slammed the door.
Please don't close the door. No!
After my ears stopped ringing, I heard shuffling and sliding as the unidentified things drew closer in the darkness. They pricked my face, breathed in my ears, and bit at my ankles.
Ow! Stop fighting me!
Something greasy touched my lips. A voice, seemingly inside my head, ordered me to eat.
No!
The voice sounded a lot like my late mother. No. Something that used to be my mother.
No!
In response, rows of needle-sharp teeth tore into my bicep.
Stop fighting me!
Eat. I ate. The teeth withdrew. I ate so many putrid, rotten, sanguine, and arcane things in that shed. I ate the tough, the chewy, the foamy, the squidgy, and fluid-filled. I ate until I felt like I was gonna die, and that was just the beginning. Whenever I tried to stop eating, those teeth would tear into my flesh until I complied.
Stop fighting me!
Strangely, I began to like it. Soon after, I was eating with gusto. I became so full, liquids and solids literally oozed from my orifices. A seeming eternity later, I heard my father's voice, sounding a world away.
Had enough?
Stop fighting me!
I never, ever again complained about my dinner. As the years passed, I kept an intentionally close relationship with my father. I even bought his house and cared for him in his old age. One day, his appetite failed, and when it did, I took his frail shoulders in my hands, pulled him close, looked him squarely in the eye, and growled,
Time to go to the shed.